Greetings and welcome to Growth Hacking Secrets. I'm your host Mohammed Siddique from Atlanta, Georgia, and the co-author of New Success Secrets available on Amazon. On this episode, we have a special guest, business growth strategist, and the author of Wise Leadership, Valor, Mark S.A. Smith. Please join me to give a warm welcome to our guest, Mark S.A. Smith. Mark,
Hello,
welcome.
hello, Mohammed. I can hear that warm welcome. I can feel that warm welcome from our audience coming in right now.
Absolutely. You can call me Siddique if you like to, because that's what I prefer. And
Okay.
let me start with this. Where were you? What happened? Who you were surrounded with that inspired you to do what you do today?
I love those kind of questions. Probably the best part of the story is in 1989, I was taking a walk through SeaWorld with a renowned speaker named Joe Saba. And I said to him, Joe, what advice would you give a young man like me, to be successful as you are? And he said, write your first book. And so I went back, and in 5 days, I wrote 5,000 words, and I created my first little teeny weeny book that I self-published. It fit into a number 10 envelope. And my marketing plan was to send out 10 of those to magazines. Back in those days, magazines were printed. This was pre-internet days. And so I put a letter to the editor that said, you can use any or all of the information in this book. Just please include this tagline that allowed people to reach out to me and to buy the book. And knowing back in those days, every magazine has an editor whose name is Phil Whitespace. And so if I gave them free copy, they would run it. And I got thousands of checks in the mail from readers of the article. And I sold 13,000 litany 5-word book that I mailed out in a number 10 envelope. And that started my career. And I ended up meeting J. Conrad Levinson, who wrote the books Guerrilla Marketing, 54 books he wrote. And I was fortunate enough then to write 3 books with him. And that really, truly launched my career.
What an impressive story. Mark, what are the top 3 mistakes to avoid based on your experience?
Do I only have 3?
Yeah.
Can't I have a few more? Okay. Number 1, the number 1 of problem focus. The problem with smart people like you and I is we can do so many things, and we're easily bored and we want to try something else. And then there's another aspect to this, and that is we tend to value our old ideas less than our new ideas. And so the problem is focus. We have to focus on that thing that we can get out of bed and focus on for 1,000 days. And if you don't do that, you'll never be a success. You'll be partial successes. That's the first one. Number 2 is not ending relationships soon enough. We tend to hold on to relationships that don't serve us way too long because we value the memory of those relationships versus where we are with them right now. And there's people that we grow beyond and that grow beyond us or stay back behind us. We have to end relationships that no longer serve us well. That's a hard thing to do. It's like putting down your favorite dog, but it's a big mistake because it holds us back. And the third thing is believing that more knowledge equals more success. This is a trap that many people get into. Oh, if I just had one more class, if I just read one more book, if I just got one more degree, if I got one more certification. No, if you just put into play what you know right now, that would be enough. And I think people's search for more knowledge actually holds them back from success versus putting into play what they know is valuable today.
What is your greatest failure story? What did you learn and how did you recover from it?
Oh, this is such a tough question. You want me to be vulnerable with a new friend just like that?
Yeah.
Give you my very, very favorite failure story? All right. Back in the mid-aughties, 2005, 2006, our company was rocking. HP had hired us to help them bring to market a new computer. And our team did 500 events worldwide with HP, and we helped them grow from 24% to 64% in 3 years. And we figured that would go on forever. We were making millions and millions of dollars. I mean, my personal guitar budget was $5,000 a month. That was my reward for all the work we were doing. And then 2009 came along and HP cut off every external contract. It wasn't that we weren't doing a great job. They just had a policy. We're cutting off all external contracts. And so our business went from millions to zero. Biggest failure was having all my eggs in one basket and not diversifying, and also not taking that money and putting it into play. We spent it. I raised 5 kids. We had a great time. So what I learned was you have to diversify. And the value out of that was that I'm able to do so many more things, and I'm no longer limited to a single client. As we talked about a little earlier, I have multiple clients, and no one client is more than 10% of my business.
I love the last line, more than 10% of business. Yeah.
That's it. That's a success secret. No more than 10% of your business.
Okay. So what are your top 3 success secrets that others can model from?
Well, actually, it's something you probably are going to ask me about a little earlier, but that's actually starting your day with contemplation. We have to start our day out right. Otherwise, our day goes off the rails. So I have 2 hours set aside every morning to do nothing but contemplate. I contemplate spiritual issues. I contemplate my clients' challenges. I contemplate my personal growth and my success. And that really sets me up for a very powerful day. If I don't do that, it's not that powerful. So you have to spend that time and think. And one of the ways I like to say this is that successful executives always have more on their to think list than on their to-do list. And so I have at least 4 hours set aside just to think, not read, not watch videos, not do research, but sit with a pad in hand and just think. That's the first one. Second one is we need focus. We have to focus. No multitasking. Multitasking is actually an indication that you don't know what your priorities should be. And you think that what you're doing isn't as important as something else you should be doing. But the reality is that multitasking is fooling ourselves into thinking that we're effective when we're not. We're actually frittering away our focus power that generates massive outcomes. So focus, one task at a time, one block at a time, take a break, switch tasks. That's it. And then number 3 is look for leverage. Most people have scattered types of opportunities and options. And if you use that kind of leverage, a lot of people say, oh, I like it because it keeps me from being bored. Yeah, but it's also keeping you poor. So look for places where you can connect one project with the other project so that you create leverage, and everything you do builds to more and more and more and more power and wealth versus frittering it by spreading out wide.
Wonderful. We are about to start the lightning round. That means quick question and quick answer. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What are you grateful for today?
I am grateful for this moment that I can share these ideas with you and I can connect with a new friend.
How young are you?
I'm 62. You know, age doesn't matter. Fitness matters.
Mark, you are not 62. You are 18 with a 44 years experience.
I sure hope so, although it'd be really nice to have that 18-year-old libido back.
What you want to do when you grow up?
Exactly what I'm doing right now, which is traveling the country, enjoying unique places, and helping people grow their business so they have an unstoppable future. I am living the life of my dream.
How do you overcome a challenge life throws at you?
It's actually pretty straightforward. First thing you do is you stop. You have a challenge, stop. And then we use the OODA loop, which is created by the Air Force to help them figure out how to get through sticky situations. And OODA stands for orient, observe, decide, and act. And I find that is it. Stop, orient. What the heck's going on? Observe. Okay, what do I see? What's really happening here? What else could this mean? Decide. I'm going to take this action and then take that action. And I find that OODA loop is very helpful in getting through challenges.
How do you start your day?
I think I shared that with you already. I start in contemplation. I start with contemplation. I think, I give gratitude, I fill my soul, fill my spirit, and then I attack the day.
What is the advice you will give to your younger yourself?
You don't have the whole picture, young man. You think you know, but you don't have the whole picture. There's only two reasons why well-meaning people fail: a blind spot, you don't know what you don't know, and misunderstandings. What you think you know ain't true. I wish I knew that when I was fresh out of college.
Once you have a revenue generating idea, how do you convince your significant other?
Well, the good news is that since I've got my kids raised, I don't have a specific significant other that I have to persuade. But that said, what I used to do was motivational alignment. I aligned what I was offering to their motivation and what they wanted to have happen. I didn't persuade them. I'm aligned with them, and it made it so much easier.
What is the impactful book you have read, and what did you learn from it?
My favorite book, as far as most impactful book, is Robert Cialdini's book, Influence the Psychology of Persuasion. Viewer, if you have not had this book, stop, drop everything you do. Do not buy one of my books. Buy this one and memorize everything in it, because Robert lays out the 6 factors you must have to be persuasive. And you can never be successful until you have the capacity of persuading other people to at least consider your viewpoint.
Why being impactful is important to you?
Well, the reason why is to pay back those people who were impactful to me. I'm here because of hundreds of people who devoted their heart, their insights, their wisdom to me. They invested in me, and I'm paying forward that investment to others so that they can pay forward to others in the future.
Who is your mentor, and what's the impact?
Well, I have 4 coaches. As an executive, I hate the word coach, but that's sort of the easiest thing to do. As a CEO coach, I have coaches too. You have to, right? If you don't keep growing yourself, how can you help grow other people? And my most impactful coach is named Sarah Victory. And she was my original performance coach when I was on the road delivering guerrilla selling. I've spoken to over 2,000 audiences in 55 countries. I've been speaking for over three decades. And Sarah was my first performance coach. And she turned me from a jerk on the platform to somebody that people would fall in love with. And I still work with her today because she's the one that spots my blind spots and misunderstandings.
What do you want to be remembered for?
I want to be remembered for being a blessing. I want people to remember me for showing up at a time in their life when they needed something, when they were praying for something, and I was able to show up and deliver what they were praying for. To me, I think that's doing God's work, and that's what I want to be remembered for.
Who is your ideal client?
My ideal client is a CEO of a company that is frustrated. They want to grow, but they're having lots of friction. They're getting stuck. And I can provide them with the perspective to get unstuck and then plot the path to the growth they really want. Now, if they're bringing to market a disruptive technology, even better. I've spent my entire life helping people bring disruptive technology to market, and I love that challenge.
How can we support you?
Be your very best version of who you are and share that. Share that with others and share it with me. I want to learn how to be better.
Wonderful. And how people can outreach to you?
Ask that question again. I'm sorry.
The website, they can visit your website.
Oh, sure. You can visit my website. It's bijaco.com, bijaco.com. Probably the best part of my website is there's probably 150 blog articles up there on business success. Other than that, I need to update it. Like everybody, we're always pivoting. We're always growing. We're always increasing. So, it's a great way to at least get a feeling for who I am and getting some information that might help them out.
Yeah, I apologize. bijaco.com.
That's right. Bija. Yeah, Bija means seed in Sanskrit. And that was a company that I formed a long time ago when I was going after working with alternative healthcare providers, such as yoga studios and acupuncturists. And to them, the Sanskrit language is part of their culture with yoga. So that was the intention. Well, it ends up they don't have a lot of money, so I pivoted away from them.
What would you say about your today's guest experience on the show?
Well, Siddique, you're a great host, and you're, a way that we were able to connect and put together this show was really seamless and flawless. You're a man who thinks in systems, and that makes things so much easier. It reduces the friction of being able to be a guest and show up and deliver some ideas that could be of value to you and your listener. It's been wonderful.
Thank you for your kind words. I appreciate it very much. What would you say as a final word?
Final word. Enjoy the adventure. Life is a continuous stream of challenges. And how boring would it be if we could only do those things that we are good at? So when facing a problem or a challenge, realize that's why we are alive. Enjoy the adventure.
Enjoy the adventure. Thank you so much, Mark, for sharing your wisdom with us today on the behalf of Growth Hacking Secrets community and our entire team. We really appreciate you. This is Mohammed Siddique signing off from Atlanta, Georgia. Until the next episode, all good wishes.